I'll turn captions on too. Testing captions. Okay, Ron. Maybe you could pull over, Ron. I don't want to slow you down.
You're muted, Ron, if you're talking.
I'm trying not to get home at midnight, so I'm keeping moving.
Okay, we just don't want to see you crash, that's all. So are you hosting or am I hosting?
You are host.
Okay. I don't have anything to report. Since the people here have the best knowledge of the system, I'll start with Tom. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Gosh, I don't remember if I made the last meeting or not. We had that little Mesh-a-palooza at our club meeting, and several people got equipment up and running. I'm still having an issue with the MikroTik base box that Randy acquired for the club to put up at Mount St. Vincent. I went through the process, got it flashed, but anytime I click on any of the selections of the buttons, like for setup or anything like that, it comes back and says gateway not found or bad gateway, something to that effect. So I think there's a bug in that version, and I couldn't find any previous versions that fit that radio. So I guess we're kind of waiting until AREDN comes out with an update for that particular piece of equipment, and then I'll try putting a newer piece of firmware into it and see if that fixes the problem. We did get the 60 gig link in. It needs to be fine-tuned on the Mount St. Vincent end, and so I guess when I'm not busy working or trying to rest on a weekend, I'll get with Frank and we'll fine-tune that end, and then hopefully I was hoping to get this radio done so we could do it all at one shot. Just get up there, put the sector antenna, new radio up, and I know that they've got a router configured and everything over there for it that Doug can get into remotely and do any fine tuning that needs to be done with that. So that's been about it.
Hey, Frank, did you have anything to report?
Well, first of all, Tom, send me the information on that router you've got. I'm sure it's like one I had, which means I have the old file for it.
Okay.
So tell me what you got.
I will.
And
I'll send you a text or an email.
And I was with Doug when the 60 gig link got mounted up on Mount St. Vincent. He also installed a router and took some time to link the HamWAN into the AREDN site. So it's once we get that AREDN transceiver working correctly with that sector antenna, it's got HamWAN on it. Like Tom says, all we have to do is fine tune it. When Doug set the link up, he just eyeballed it, and then he went over to Beacon and fine tuned it from Beacon, and that's how we found out we need to fine tune it from Mount St. Vincent. So that's all I have.
Yeah, it's working, but it does say that it can do another 11 dB of improvement signal to noise ratio in its algorithm. It knows that. So just, a degree or two of fine tuning the alignment of the dish, and will be excellent to go.
I forgot to mention, this is the NWMESH Zoom meeting, which happens on the second Thursday, starting at 7:30 p.m. And present is Mark, N2MH, and Ron, Info-RDZ, and John, KI7YRA, and Tom, N70EP, and Frank, K7RSD. And we just heard the reports from Tom and Frank. And Ron, did you have anything that you wanted to report?
I don't think Ron heard you, or he's muted.
Hey, Ron, can you hear me?
I have
Uh-oh.
Bad signal.
Bad signal, Ron.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you're getting garbled. Yeah, you're not close to a cell tower.
No, but he's putting up the X, so he has nothing to report.
Okay, nothing to report. Okay. Thank you, Ron. Okay. Put your hands on the steering wheel, Ron.
Looks like he's out of range. He's locked.
Yeah, you probably can't hear him.
Gotcha, Ron.
Okay, Ron, you have nothing to report. We got it. So, Mark, do you have anything you'd like to pitch in here from your side?
Yeah, a couple things. Tom, on that image that you think is bad, currently the last nightly build in AREDN is what they're calling their release candidate. And barring anything further that may be wrong with it, this will be the next production release. So you may wish to download that, put it on that device that's giving you a headache, and see if it works. And in fact, if it doesn't work, they really want to know about that in a hurry. So they're asking for all kinds of testing on this current nightly build that's out there.
Okay. And I went to the website when I was having an issue with one of the Ubiquity rockets and tried to register into the forum so I could ask questions and stuff. And I never got an email back, giving me what your login and password is. So apparently my application for becoming a forum member never got through. So I'll try again. But thanks for the tip. I'll look into it over the weekend and see if I can't get a newer version and put in there. I was looking at the nightly builds and I didn't see anything for that particular model that would fix it. So
well,
I'll dig deeper.
Okay. Well, the word to the wise is try this one. If it doesn't work, let them know, because I think at this point they want to have a build that will work on any device that's out there that's in their supported devices list.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so this might be a good test for you and for them at the same time.
Perfect. Thanks for the tip.
Okay, let's see. The other thing I want to report on is I've been hard at work on a software package called PyWix Rix. PyWix Rix was written by Martin Alcock, VE6VH in Canada, and myself, Martin, and Andrew, K1YMI, have been working on this, thus thinking about getting some bugs out of it. PyWix Rix is a software package that listens to NOAA weather radio, and it can listen through either an RTL SDR dongle or a real radio through a conventional audio dongle. And among other things, it looks like to listen to it, you don't listen to it on a speaker. It's not a real radio in that respect, but it makes itself an extension on a PBX, so you can call it up on the phone and listen to it. But the main nice thing about PyWix Rix is that it decodes the weather alerts that NOAA weather radio transmits, and it decodes them. You have to specify the counties that you'll be listening to, and then it sends those out as an email if you want. You could send it out as a SIP message, or it can send it into a server of sorts for further processing. So one of the things that Martin has set up is a server where people can log into the server, set up an account, and subscribe to various alerts, which basically is what county that you want to listen to, and maybe what list of alerts that you want to listen to. Now, Andrew and myself have taken this a little further. We are now sending these out as packet radio bulletins on the BBS network. In fact, several of us are actually running packet radio on the mesh and have conventional bulletin boards up, stuff like BPQ and JNOS. So we're converting these out into bulletins, sending them out that way. And some time ago, I wrote a module that can take this bulletin and display it on Mesh Chat. So if you want, I can show what that is, if I can share my screen.
Sure.
one more time, what is the name of the program?
Okay, the name of the program is called PIWXRX. So that's spelled PIWXRX.
Got it.
PIWXRX. It's written in Java, and it was originally written for the Raspberry Pi. Martin has since ported it over so it's a little bit more universal. It can run on an x86 machine. But right now I am running it on a Raspberry Pi. And what you see in front of me is the latest messages that have come out of it. And this was 4 minutes ago. We were talking about the rain and everything on the East Coast. Well, this is an alert, a real live alert for Sullivan County. And it's valid for the next hour. So this comes out, and because it's in Mesh Chat, you get the typical Mesh Chat beep boop when a new message comes in. So you get an alert. So I've been doing these all day. Most of them are this WXL 37 location, which is in the mid-Hudson Valley. KWO 35 is in New York City. And by the way, KWO 35 is the weather transmitter that started this whole thing back in the early 50s, back out at LaGuardia Airport. So we have a bunch here. KWO at WXL 37. I can scroll down, and a couple interesting ones came through earlier today. A tornado watch came through. Now that's something to take notice of. The Northeast generally doesn't get tornado warnings, but when they do, you have to pay attention. So Columbia County is on the Hudson River, the east side of the Hudson River, just below Albany, New York. Here's another one for the mid-Hudson Valley, and I could go on yesterday, et cetera, et cetera. So this I have running.
This is cool.
Okay. So if you're on Mesh Phone, you can actually listen to these. Here's the actual Mesh Phone number. And I know I owe you guys some information about Mesh Phone, but it is there. But this is also reachable. These Mesh Phone numbers are also reachable from the likes of Ham Shack Hotline and from Hams over IP. So it's there. We have to put a disclaimer in case some people think they can rely on these. Well, you can't. Now, in fact, pretty much the same disclaimer is on the NOAA Weather Service website itself. And they basically say the timeliness can only be guaranteed if you hear the NOAA weather radio signal direct. Well, coming through this, you have store and forward, so that's not direct anymore. But having said that, I have had Mesh Chat up like this and have actually listened to alerts when they come through from the local station here in North Carolina. And invariably, the alert comes up in Mesh Chat before they even start to say it on the air, before they even start to verbalize it.
Wow.
So in my book, that is timely, but that's not
Yes.
something that you can guarantee. But this is what I've been working on. It is up on GitHub. You go to github.com, search for PIWXRX, PIWXRX. It's a little scattered right now because it is in beta. This 4.4.2 is in beta. I've asked for a lot of different things. Martin has been kind enough to put them in, and we're fine tuning it, and it's working. So this particular installation that you see here actually has two weather radios on it. It's all housed in a 3.5-inch high rack shelf. It's got the Raspberry Pi, a power supply for it. It has an RTL dongle, and it also has an old AREDN radio. Now, put your hand up if you remember an AREDN radio. Well, they do work well. So if you have an old mobile kicking around somewhere, it will work. As long as it'll copy those frequencies, it will work. So that's what I've been working on for the past month or so. I'm just completing another unit to probably tomorrow. It's going to be a demo unit, so I can take it out to various places and show people how it works and see what other stations might be good in their particular area. And then we get this all network together. So we have this going into both Mesh Chat and Mesh Mail and the BBS network. So it's kind of interesting stuff. It's groundbreaking, I guess, but it's out there, and I'm kind of happy to see it working like this. Any questions?
That's very cool. I think that would be something that we could certainly sell to our ACS folks. What do you think, Frank?
There is VE6VH has a website with the thing on it.
Yes, he does. That's his personal website. His code, the latest and greatest code, is on GitHub.
Okay.
All right, so go to GitHub, search for PyWixRix. See PyWixRix right here.
Got it.
Okay, so I'll send this back, and John, you can pick it up.
Okay, thank you. That's really interesting stuff you're working on. So I was just wondering, Tom, we would be using a different NOAA radio service?
Yeah, we have a NOAA weather transmitter here in the Puget Sound area.
Yeah.
Same basic setup. So
yeah, there's 1,000 of them scattered around the United States in possessions, and they're scattered about every 30 miles or so.
How would we know which one to use?
Well, you go to
the local one.
Yeah, you use the local one, but you go to
162.55, I think, is our frequency here.
Yeah. The real way to find out is to go to www.weather.gov/NWR, short for NOAA Weather Radio. And that is the overall site for NOAA Weather Radio. And they have a couple of links there where you can actually find your local transmitter, transmitters all over the United States, what their coverage is, and you can get lost in there and find out. If you're on the coastline, they also have a special series of alerts for marine interests. So they have two zones, a zone, what they call offshore, coastal, which goes from the shoreline out 20 nautical miles. And then they have another zone called offshore, which is 20 nautical miles to 40 nautical miles out to sea. And you can, if your local weather forecast office transmits those codes, you can actually decode those as well.
So Mark, how many NOAA stations can you pull in with this setup?
Well, that depends. If you're just at home, maybe one, maybe two. If you're at a repeater site, which is high, the repeater hears a lot. Well, a NOAA weather setup up there will hear a lot as well. So like myself, and when I'm at my New Jersey location, I am on top of a hill, which does have a couple FM stations on it. It's got a number of repeaters. So it is commercial quality elevation. I am not at those sites, but I'm on the same ridge. I hear 3 NOAA weather stations very well. I hear one kind of so-so, and I hear one that I would actually call DX. And that DX station is at WXL 37, which is being the very chatty Cathy right now about the rainstorms going through. So it all depends on your location. Remember, VHF, height is everything. Elevation, elevation, elevation.
I was thinking in terms of ACS, how they would choose
Yeah, so John, they would choose the one on Gold Mountain, 162.55. I believe the call sign is KHB60. And that serves pretty much all of Puget Sound. I think there might be another one up north near Bellingham. I'm not sure. Frank might know. Maybe Mount Constitution has one. And there may be one farther down south. But the one for basically the Puget Sound region would be the one on Gold Mountain.
If you wanted to sell this to ACS, how would you do it?
Well, I mean, I think it's something that they would find as a useful thing, to have maybe having a mesh chat session running in the ELC whenever they're activated. They can keep an eye on any weather alerts that might be coming through, especially during our winter storm season.
And how would that differ from the way they do business now?
Well, it's just another tool in their toolbox. I mean,
Oh, just another, okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they would have access to any weather alerts, being an EOC. They'd probably get them directly through the government, but this is something that they could have it, because if they have AREDN Mesh running there at the EOC, it's just another thing they can have on the screen is messages coming in on Mesh Chat of any weather alerts. So if you look right there in the middle, you see Seattle KHB60. That's the one I was referring to. And Capital Peak is probably the South Sound.
HB60, KHB.
Yeah, Kilo Hotel Bravo 60 is the call sign.
60.
And the
Okay.
frequency for that guy is 162.550.
I probably have it on my HT, but
You probably do. There you go. And there's the coverage.
that would be
Pretty
good.
much all of Puget Sound up to the Cascades. And then I thought I saw when they were in Blaine, which would be up near the Canadian border, so that would cover up, through the islands.
This is
Yeah.
the main selector for finding out where stations are located. So we'll choose Washington, and there's Blaine.
Yeah, so that would
Okay.
probably cover up, through the islands and out through the strait. And then I saw another one that looked like it was down on near Shelton or Olympia.
The other
Possibly.
one I get really strong is on 162.425.
Is it 425 or 475? I think that might be the one down on. It's probably Capitol Peak in Olympia.
It's 425. I was just listening to it.
Okay, Forks. Wow, I'm surprised you're hearing Forks.
There it is.
Okay. Oh, there might be another 425 in Randall. Interesting.
The weather transmits are
Capitol Peak said it was out of service, so it's probably off the air right now because of an equipment issue. On your chart there, it just showed that the 475 was currently out of service. That's why it's probably red on your screen.
there it is. Okay. Now on each individual transmitter, they give you what the codes are that are transmitted. These are the county codes. Okay, so this is the advertised coverage area for this transmitter. And it comes out of this forecast office. Each forecast office has a number of transmitters that they handle. The New York City one has about 20 different counties. There's one down by me here in Georgetown, South Carolina. That transmitter only covers 2 counties. So you can go to this website. This is the master website. Okay, NOAA Weather Radio. And if you go here, you get everything you'll always wanted to know. Station listing, county listing about it, alert information, all kinds of good stuff. And here's a list of stations that are out of service right now for whatever reason.
Mark, do you listen in on the Mount Baker digital group? They have regular meetings. They're pretty advanced in their use of the things you've been talking about.
No, I don't know about these people, and I have never been in their meetings.
I'm sure they benefit from some of the things you've been talking about.
They're north of us, up in Mount Baker
Belling-
area,
Bellingham,
which is Bellingham, up near the Canadian border.
That's be somewhere around in here.
Exactly.
yeah,
Okay.
they're very, they, I tune in with them when I can, because they really dump a lot of useful information in their Zoom meetings. But I'll send you that detail if you're interested.
Okay, appreciate it. But this is what I've been up to. I've been listening to NOAA Weather Radio since the early 70s. And I was pretty much when I built my first repeater, a UHF repeater, and I came across an old Motorola receive strip that I crystalled up on KW035 and arrange it so that we could just punch it up on using a TTMF code. And that worked great. They came out with another channel. I put that in there, and I'm using it, and that was useful as well. Fast forward about 40 years to about 10 years ago, I found a radio on eBay. That was a Motorola radio. It was the same exact receive strip, but it was built as a NOAA weather radio, and it was crystalled up on 162.55. And the story behind it was that it was built for the Chicago Fire Department and served on a fireboat for the city of Chicago. And I got to thinking about it, and it was probably the only piece of Motorola equipment that I used exactly how it was built. I didn't modify it at all. Well, actually, I did. I made it into a 2-freak unit and pulled the channel element out of my old strip. And actually, I have that in service now, listening to feeding one of my pilot's radios here in North Carolina. It's listening to Myrtle Beach, which is about 55, 60 miles away.
Awesome.
And it's Q5 copy. It's like it's next door. But it's interesting. Even at that distance, you do get propagation effects. So every once in a while, it does get hammered by other stations. You know, on the coast, you get that coastal ducting effect. So it's a lot more pronounced than it would be inland. But the stuff is real interesting. Real interesting indeed.
Yeah, that's cool. I like how those you're able to get those weather alerts parsed over on the mesh chat. That's awesome.
Now, here's a far out thought for you. You asked, how could you get this stuff into the hands of the EOC managers? Well, it does put out the alert in industry standard SMTP. So the far-fetched idea is that you could actually feed it into their mail server and have it distributed as email directly to interested people.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, but having said that, there's a pretty big wall in there to making that happen. And that's called the IT department.
Yes, I'm in that IT department, so I know the world you're referring to.
So the way to make that happen is not to talk to the IT guys, because they'll tell you no, period, end of discussion. Is to talk to the managers, show them what you could do, and have them tell the IT guys, make it happen.
Yeah, tell the IT, I want this.
Yeah.
Well, I know a guy.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, this could that could be made to work that way, or set it up on their own network.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, we have HAM1 in the EOC, so I mean, it can be done through the ham side of stuff without interfering at all with the city's network. So.
Okay.
And I think Doug was talking about doing a mail server there, so we could actually, send outgoing email to the city people via a different network, and the important people would still get the email.
Mm-hmm. Now,
and
if you want,
it wouldn't write on their network at all.
If you want, I could probably do a test with one of these receivers and send it out on AMPRNet. HamWAN is not out here, but I am on AMPRNet, and I think I do have connectivity into HamWAN with a 44 network address. So if you want to try that, well, get me some information, maybe mail server to send it to.
Yeah, I think Doug would be the guy to get involved with that from that end of things. Doug Kingston, KD7DK is his call sign.
Okay.
Is he on our distribution?
He's the HamWAN guy, and also is involved heavily with the EOC. So with all the ham stuff at the EOC, and he's a network guru as well. So I mean, he knows how to make the bits fly from one end to the other and get it through routers and switches and things like that. So
What was his name again?
Doug Kingston.
Yeah, he's on the distribution. Yeah, I have a distribution list and he's on the list. So
Okay.
He knows about these meetings, or he gets
Yeah.
notifications.
He's a busy guy. But I mean, he was the one that was involved with getting our 60 gigahertz link up between Providence, Mount St. Vincent, where we're putting in a mesh system, and the city's access to one of the Seattle Housing Authority buildings where they have HamWAN at. And there's that 60 gig link that Doug was very instrumental in getting installed. So he's an excellent resource to have.
Well, it's 8:09. Do we have any other topics for discussion?
I just sent out an IP address on AMPRNet, how you can reach my mesh chat over AMPRNet. That mesh chat that I had up, that I shared my screen with earlier.
Yeah.
So I just sent that URL out as a chat. So if we go on Zoom here. So if you're on HamWAN, check that out. Maybe you'll get through and you can see it.
Bring up chat on this silly thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Last time I tried to bring up chat, I couldn't do it. So I don't. Maybe the last iOS upgrade made that function. Now I got to find my little sticky pad. There it is.
I'll send out the.
I got
send out.
that address is wrong.
Yeah, there's one too many octets there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, got it. Thanks for that, Mark. That'll be interesting to see.
And if you want to reach me, there's my AMPRNet email address.
Yeah, I'll send out the chat with the video so everyone can have them.
Okay.
Excellent.
So now I do have to admit I'm cheating a little bit with this mesh chat stuff. Well, with the Pilot tricks. The RTL dongles are pretty deaf, to be honest with you. All right, so I found a 20 dB preamp for the 162 area that you can buy from AirSpy in Pennsylvania. So 20 dBs, and it's a decent noise figure, so that'll bring that up to spec. I'm using a repeater grade antenna, a Diamond HA 510 right now, And for an antenna splitter, I'm using a garden variety cable TB splitter that you get in Lowe's or Home Depot. And just getting the right adapters for it.
Cool.
Yep. But the thing works and it works well. Okay, I'll give you a couple numbers that you can call. You know, let me toot my horn here a little bit. How's that?
Go for it.
No extra charge.
You guys still there? Because all I'm hearing is key clicking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we're letting
making
him-
notes.
he's putting words into the chat.
Okay, I'm finished chatting.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing those, Mark.
All right, have fun with this, and you know, turn your imagination on. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is not in anybody's box. This is really outside the box.
That's what we like.
Yep.
Any new topics or further discussion? So it's 8:15, and I'm hoping that when I close this out, it will save the captions too, so we'll have more things to look at. Let's see, full transcript. Yeah, I'll figure it out one way or the other. Okay, guys. Any final thoughts? Any last comments? Okay.
Nope, not here.
Yep, I don't have anything. Ron, where are you at?
I'm trying to get into Chehalis, but the 3 lanes are closed down into 1. So I'm going 5 miles an hour. But
Oh,
I
lovely.
was going to say to John, if this is put into the standard location, I won't have access till Sunday night. So
Okay.
you get a break.
Yeah, it's yeah, I put it into the cloud. I didn't store it locally. The video and presumably any other files will be all up in the cloud at Zoom.
Should be plenty of room.
Yeah, have you been taking out some of the older recordings?
Oh yeah, they're gone.
Okay, good.
They're out of here.
That's good. Okay, good. You have room. Okay. Okay, guys. I guess we can wrap it up. And this is the end of the meeting. And enjoy whatever weather you're experiencing.
I thought we would see more people from Northeast Seattle tonight. I'm a little surprised, but maybe next month they'll join us after they have their Meshapalooza. So we'll see.
And it might help if we had a teaser to get them, to get their interest, because I'm just sending out a boilerplate Zoom invitation, nothing special. So if you have anything that would entice them, we can put that into the invitation.
Well, Northeast ACS group has about 5 people that are hot to get mesh equipment programmed. So I would say they should show up next month. We're having the Meshapalooza in August up at the North Seattle College.
Yeah, it's late August, so they may
And-
not show up till September.
Yeah, that could be too. But you know, we'll make sure during that Meshapalooza and invite them.
Okay, before the next invitation goes out, I will canvas you guys to find out what I can add to the email that will get more better responses.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Ron, you got a red line from wherever you are northbound all the way into Chehalis, and then it goes green right away.
You're muted, Ron.
I think he's having some technical issues.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna mute myself again. I'm looking at the if you remember northbound, 1 lane goes off and then 2 lanes go forward. So it's about I'd say a mile that I can see ahead right now, where they haven't yet definitely closed off the inside passing lane, but they had a big sign, DOT truck back in the back, said left lane closed ahead. So I
Okay, all I'm
want to
doing.
go home.
Hopefully it's construction or not an accident.
Yeah.
Well, it shows it all the way red all the way to North Main Street, which is where 6 comes in, and then it's green until just a little bit past that, and it's green, and then it's red again at an exit at the north end of Chehalis, but that's a really short one, like 2 blocks long. After that, it's green all the way.
Yeah, I can see about 1.5 miles forward now. And there's a line of semis just almost stopped. So I'm at 0 miles per hour.
Poop. Yeah.
But thank you all for joining. John, thanks for recording, and I'll go ahead and drop out so I can pay attention to traffic here.
Yeah, don't crash.
No, I won't.
See you tomorrow, Ron.
Bye-bye, everybody. And Mark, I'll send you that link to the Bellingham group.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you need that NOAA Weather Radio URL? I'll put it in chat if you want that.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll save it in the chat.
Okay, let me get there.
I'm saving that locally, so to make sure I have a copy.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll just put it in there. Where are we? Okay.
So is this a private upload URL?
The one I'm putting in? No, this is public.
The reason I ask is I dumped you a quick note email, and I tried to get the file from eHub, and it says that the file is too large, the zip file, which is weird.
Oh, you mean from his website?
Yeah, from his website on GitHub, I tried to download the zip file.
Oh, Yeah, I think he's a novice at GitHub, okay? I think he really doesn't know the etiquette, if you want to call it that, for GitHub. So maybe there is an issue with that.
So is there a place I can download it?
Well, yeah, you can manipulate. Are you going to build this on a Raspberry Pi?
Yes.
Okay, you can download. Okay, there is a zip file that you can download. You see a small zip file, PyWixRix.zip or something. Oh boy. Stanley by. Okay. Let's see. Will this work? It's kind of scattered. It's scattered. Okay, the PyWixRix zip file. That is for a Raspberry Pi. It's 7 meg. All right, so if you go to just that file, select just that file. Okay. You'll see a couple of buttons: code, blame on the left, raw, and some others on the right.
Yeah, I dumped the site, so you gotta wait till I get back in it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm back in it.
Okay, you on the main web page? On the main page?
I would guess I am.
All right, it's got the README file at the bottom.
No. I'm trying to, should I be in repositories? Is that where it's at?
Okay. Let's start from scratch. Go to github.com.
Right, got it.
Okay, in the search box,
Right.
PyWixRix.
Yes, that's what I've done.
Okay. All right, so you'll see his repository there. I guess that's what you call it. Click on that.
Okay.
Okay, and now you'll see a number of files with readme.md at the bottom.
Well, that's what I'm not getting.
Oh, you're breaking up.
I'm not getting that.
You're not seeing that. Oh,
Okay, I found it. I clicked on his website at the top there, and now I do have the files that end in readme.md. And this is where I clicked on pywixrix.zip.
right. Okay, click on pywixrix.zip.
Got it,
Okay, here's where you come to.
right?
Okay, over on the right side where it says raw,
Yes.
save file. Okay, so is that what you've been doing?
No, I did not. So should I click on raw or the down arrow?
No, click on raw.
Okay.
This will
clicked
come
on
up.
raw.
Okay, and it should come up to a file download box for your browser.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have it now.
Okay, save the file.
Got it.
Okay, and what you do, you take that file, put it in the Pi directory, the home directory for user Pi.
Okay.
put it there, unzip it, and it should create a PyWixRix directory.
Okay,
And there should be a bunch of files in there along with a bin subdirectory and some others perhaps.
okay,
All right, so there's a lot of configuration work involved. PyWixRix XML is the main configuration. That's how you tell it what kind of device you're using for the audio,
Okay.
whether
it.
it's the RTL dongle or a CM109 card or something like that. There's a file in there that you can use as your service file, as your system, service file, system control.
Okay.
Okay. I suspect it's going to be very hard to start from scratch with what you have.
All right.
All right. So if you want to give me a call, I can walk you through it.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm not going to make things more complex. There have been updates to that add additional capabilities, mainly in how the message is going to be sent out when it's sent out by email.
Okay.
But for now, I'll leave you with that. And if you want, I'll give you my cell phone if you want to call me.
Okay. Well, I'll just grab you on email when I get going on it. It's not going to be today, so.
Okay, fine, fine. I'm leaving this weekend, probably going to be gone till the end of the month.
Okay.
All right, so I'll be out of pocket.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, well, enjoy it. Yeah, take whatever Raspberry Pi distribution you have. I generally use the light ones that have no GUI.
Mm-hmm.
Not needed. I use it as a headless server. It works fine that way.
Okay.
So I also trimmed mine down, got rid of a lot of stuff that's not needed. And it works best if you have a direct Ethernet connection to your router.
Okay.
All right. I do not suggest doing VoIP over wireless at all.
Well, yeah, let's bag this until I'm ready to do it and I'll contact you and we'll go from there.
Okay, very good. Have fun with it.
I hope so.
It may be frustrating, but you know, some of that goes with the territory.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yep.
take care, guys.
Okay.
Okay, Mark. Check your mail, Mark.
Okay, I will. Let me get out of here so you can shut her down. There you go.
All right. See you guys later.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Good night, all.